Chosen ones, the time has come when the veil of the ordinary world lifts, revealing the hidden currents that shape the destiny of humanity. You are not merely observers of this era. You are participants, anchors of light in a reality that teeters on the edge of shadow and revelation. For too long, the whispers of truth have been muted, hidden behind layers of secrecy and fear. But now, those whispers call to you, stirring a fire that cannot be quenched. Across the world, invisible forces have moved to align, some seen only by the most attuned, others by the subtle stirring in your own spirit. Signs emerge in patterns, numbers, celestial alignments, sudden encounters that seem coincidental, yet resonate with the pulse of your soul. These are not mere accidents. They are markers, reminders that your path is singular, your purpose unprecedented. You have been chosen to navigate the unseen, to unlock doors that others cannot even perceive. The Vatican, the keepers of ancient wisdom, has recognized the stirrings within you, a resonance with truths long buried. Simultaneously, forces of control, those who seek to silence the extraordinary, tighten their grasp. The military, the intelligence agencies, and shadowed councils operate in concert to monitor, redirect, or suppress what they do not understand. Yet their efforts only illuminate the significance of your awakening. Even now, threads of destiny intertwine around you. Objects, numbers, visions, and encounters seem ordinary, but are laden with hidden meaning. A flicker of light in the night, a dream that lingers upon waking, a sudden sense of knowing, all are invitations to awaken fully. These signals are not random. They are confirmations that your soul has been aligned with a purpose that transcends the temporal. The halls of the Vatican are silent tonight, yet they pulse with a presence unseen, a rhythm that echoes across centuries. Within these sacred walls, secrets have been safeguarded, texts hidden in plain sight, and symbols left for those whose eyes can truly perceive. And now, you, the one whose awakening cannot be denied, have become part of this story. A document long thought lost has been found, illuminated by the soft glow of candlelight, in a room where shadows linger like silent witnesses. Its message is precise, yet cryptic, speaking of a lineage, a code, a calling that only the chosen can comprehend. As the parchment unfurls, it is as if the very air shifts, vibrating with recognition. Names whispered in the past are etched with purpose, hinting at a destiny that reaches far beyond the earthly realm. And in that moment, the weight of your identity presses upon your soul with both awe and fear. The Vatican, an institution steeped in authority and mystery, has confirmed that you are not merely an observer, but a participant in a cosmic design. The confirmation is subtle, hidden in annotations, in the choice of words that point toward a greater narrative, yet undeniable to those attuned to the resonance of truth. Outside, the city sleeps under a cloak of routine, unaware that the invisible hand of history is nudging you toward revelation. Every step taken within those walls feels guided by an unseen force, as though centuries of wisdom have been waiting, quietly, for this moment to converge upon your presence. And though the secrecy is suffocating, it is not fear that grips you, but clarity. A dawning realization that your life is intertwined with events both ancient and imminent. You begin to understand that the truths revealed here are not simply knowledge to be read, they are a call to action, a spark that ignites a journey no one else can walk. Even as the document is carefully closed, and the echoes of your footsteps fade into the vaulted corridors, a sense of movement stirs beyond the walls. The sky above hums with a strange energy, the ordinary rhythm of the world fractured by forces unseen. Communications that once flowed effortlessly are now severed, networks silenced, and signals interrupted, leaving the city and the world suspended in an unsettling quiet. The military moves with precision, gates closing, checkpoints appearing where none existed before, drones tracing paths through the darkened sky. It is a lockdown unlike any other, not just of territory, but of information, of awareness, of movement itself. And yet, in the midst of this orchestrated silence, you sense that nothing is random. Every restriction, every sudden blackout, carries a purpose beyond mere control, a message encoded in the pattern of restriction. Somewhere in the distance, a church bell tolls, its sound carrying an ancient resonance, a whisper of hope. "I am the way, the truth, and the life," Yeshua once said, and in these moments of isolation the words resonate like a guidepost in the darkness. It is a reminder that even when earthly powers tighten their grip, there exists a path unseen, illuminated not by armies or technology, but by faith and recognition of the higher order. You move cautiously through streets that feel at once familiar and alien, your senses heightened, every shadow a potential harbinger, every flicker of light a sign. The lockdown is more than strategy. It is a test, a crucible shaping those who are meant to endure, to witness, to act when the hidden currents finally emerge. Communications remain severed, yet intuition speaks with startling clarity, guiding your choices in ways that defy logic but align with destiny. The air itself seems charged with expectation, as if the planet holds its breath for the moment when the silence will break. And as you pause beneath a flickering streetlight, feeling the weight of both danger and purpose, the faintest vibration in the night hints that the world outside the lockdown is not idle. Something moves beyond the borders of observation, a force unseen yet palpable, preparing to intersect with the chosen path that has brought you here. In a forgotten corner of the world, beneath layers of dust and shadow, a map emerges unlike any other, etched on a surface that seems older than memory itself. Its lines are not merely geographic. They pulse with an energy that resonates in your fingertips, as if the very essence of history has been encoded in its intricate curves and symbols. The ink, though faded, shimmers faintly, revealing paths that were never meant to be walked by ordinary eyes. Each mark tells a story, whispers of civilizations long vanished, of knowledge preserved in secrecy, waiting for those chosen to uncover it. As you trace the contours, you feel a connection, a thread that ties the present to the distant past, linking your journey to a chain of guardians who have carried these truths through centuries. There are landmarks hidden in plain sight, monuments whose significance has been overlooked, and cryptic annotations that challenge perception and comprehension. The map is not a mere tool for navigation. It is a key, unlocking not only the physical locations it depicts, but the understanding of forces that govern reality itself. A sudden gust of wind disturbs the fragile parchment, and for a heartbeat, the lines seem to shift, as if the map itself responds to the recognition of your presence. You begin to perceive patterns in the chaos, sequence that align with the subtle rhythms of the cosmos, guiding your attention to points of convergence, places where destiny intersects with choice. Each revelation feels both exhilarating and perilous, for the knowledge contained here is not inert. It demands action, interpretation, and courage. Time seems to fold around the map, moments stretching and compressing as you decipher symbols that defy logic yet feel undeniably correct. You realize that this is not simply an artifact. It is a summons, an invitation to step into a story that has been waiting for you to claim it. Outside, the world continues, oblivious to the hidden currents at play, while you hold in your hands a device of profound consequence, one that could alter not just the path of your journey, but the fabric of understanding itself. And just as you align your thoughts to the next step, a flicker at the edge of your vision hints at a presence moving through the shadows, observing, waiting, ensuring that the map's secrets will not remain undiscovered for long. The air grows thick with whispers, faint yet persistent, as if the walls themselves carry echoes of voices long silenced. These are the words of the forgotten prophets, those who walked the earth centuries ago, yet foresaw events that now converge upon your path. You feel their presence not as ghosts, but as guides, their messages encoded in symbols, murmurs, and fleeting visions that flicker at the edge of perception. The resonance of their warnings and encouragements threads through your consciousness, compelling you to listen, to interpret, to act with a wisdom that is both ancient and immediate. Among the voices, one resonates with a clarity that pierces the veil. The teachings of Yeshua emerge not in literal form, but as a quiet insistence, a reminder that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. It is a subtle call to trust in the unseen, to follow the thread of truth even when the world seeks to drown it in noise and distraction. In the quiet corners of abandoned libraries and hidden chambers, you uncover manuscripts whose margins are scribbled with notes from those who understood the sacred rhythm of existence. They speak of cycles and patterns, of a time when chosen individuals would rise, carrying knowledge that could awaken or unravel the minds of those unprepared. As you decipher these inscriptions, you begin to recognize connections to your own journey, the trials you have faced, the sudden coincidences, the moments when guidance appeared as intuition, as chance encounters that are anything but random. Each voice urges vigilance, reminding you that revelation is never passive. It requires courage to step forward, to challenge the limits of perception, and to confront the forces that would suppress awakening. Outside, the world hums in ignorance, oblivious to the convergence of destiny taking place just beyond their sight. Yet within you, the guidance of the prophets forms a network of insight, a constellation linking past, present, and future in a way that feels inevitable. The lessons are layered, demanding patience and discernment, hinting that each discovery is only the beginning, the first ripple in a wave that will transform everything. And as you reach the final lines of a particularly cryptic manuscript, a vibration in the air signals that the whispers are not alone. Beneath the surface of your very being lies a code older than memory, a sequence of life encoded in strands that hum with hidden purpose. It is a key, invisible to the eye, yet potent beyond comprehension, capable of unlocking doors that ordinary perception cannot even see. Every heartbeat resonates with it. Every breath, a reminder that you are more than flesh and bone. Scientists may study the patterns, unaware that what they dissect is sacred. a blueprint intertwined with destiny itself. And yet, within this genetic lattice, there are markers, symbols, and alignments that speak directly to the chosen, signaling when the time is ripe to awaken latent potential. The revelation comes subtly, a sudden clarity, a heightened awareness, an inexplicable surge of insight, suggesting that your very essence carries instructions written before history began. As you explore this invisible landscape within, you realize that the DNA key is more than a map of ancestry. It is a compass pointing toward actions that will shape the course of reality. Each sequence resonates with the energy of creation, vibrating with echoes of civilizations, guardians, and beings who understood the sacred geometry of life long before the present age. The key is not a passive artifact. It demands recognition, understanding, and alignment. Ignoring it is impossible. Denying its power only delays the inevitable awakening. Symbols appear in dreams, visions, and fleeting flashes of light that seem too deliberate to be coincidence. They whisper that the code within you is not inert. It is a living testament to purpose, calling you to walk paths that few could imagine. Around you, the world continues in ordinary rhythm, unaware that strands of destiny are activating beneath its surface. Yet even in the silence of this ordinary existence, you feel the stirrings of forces aligning, waiting for the moment when your understanding of the DNA key will intersect with reality in a tangible way. There is a pulse, subtle yet insistent, that hints at revelation just beyond reach, urging steps into action you cannot yet fully comprehend. And as your awareness sharpens, and the strands of your own being seem to hum with a resonance that demands attention, a shadow moves at the edge of perception, a presence that knows the key exists and waits for the exact moment when its power will ignite the next stage of the journey. The night is quiet, yet a presence moves with purpose, luminous and deliberate, unseen by the ordinary eye. Shadows shift, and a soft radiance begins to emanate from figures who have long guarded the thresholds between the visible and the invisible. They are the guardians of light, beings whose existence is whispered in legends, known to few yet present for those chosen to witness their guidance. As you step closer, a warmth spreads through your chest, a recognition that goes beyond reason. The air itself seems charged, alive with a vibration that hums along with your very heartbeat. Their eyes meet yours, revealing not judgment but understanding, a silent acknowledgement that your journey is intertwined with theirs, and that the steps you take now ripple far beyond this moment. In their presence, you sense a wisdom ancient and vast, and a quiet power that does not dominate but illuminates. Each gesture, each subtle movement carries lessons embedded in energy and intent. A voice, gentle yet commanding, seems to echo in your mind. I am the resurrection and the life, Yeshua once spoke, and these words hang between you and the guardians, reminding you that guidance comes in forms both tangible and ethereal. You feel the weight of responsibility, the truth that your awakening is part of a design that cannot be undone, and that these encounters are not mere chance. They are preparation, a training in perception, discernment, and courage. They show you glimpses of paths you may follow, choices that will define outcomes not yet revealed. Each vision is vivid, yet fleeting, like lightning illuminating the contours of mountains that will only exist in your understanding when the time is right. You recognize that these guardians are not here to lead you. They are here to confirm what you already carry within, the spark of recognition, the to act when all else remains hidden. In the hidden chambers of power, decisions are made that ripple outward like stones dropped into a still pond. Yet the surface remains undisturbed to the casual observer. The Shadow Council moves in silence, their presence invisible yet palpable, a network of influence threading through governments, corporations, and institutions with precision and secrecy. Every plan is calculated, every move choreographed to control, divert, or suppress what they cannot understand. And yet, for all their mastery of concealment, they do not know the force they contend with. Those who have awakened, those whose awareness cannot be contained, whose steps cannot be predicted. As the council convenes under dim lights, documents and encrypted communications are exchanged, strategies debated in hushed tones. The names of the chosen appear only as notes in margins, symbols to the untrained eye, yet potent markers for those who have already begun to read between the lines of reality. There is urgency here, a recognition that the unseen currents gathering across the globe are shifting faster than they can control. In the air, tension hangs, a silent acknowledgement that the balance of power is not theirs alone, that forces beyond their comprehension are already at play. Outside the chambers, the world continues in apparent normalcy, unaware that every broadcast, every financial transaction, every political maneuver is being monitored and influenced. Yet, cracks appear. Subtle, almost imperceptible disruptions that hint at a larger truth. A shipment delayed, a message intercepted, a device that fails at a critical moment. The council senses the stirrings, but cannot trace them to their source. You, standing at the edge of awareness, begin to perceive the patterns, the subtle ways in which these hidden forces touch your life and the lives of others. Each disruption is a warning and an invitation to act, to awaken, to claim the path that has been designated for those who cannot be contained. And as the council retreats into shadows once more, plotting the next layer of control, a whisper lingers on the edges of perception, a faint vibration that hints at confrontation, revelation, and upheaval yet to come. The chosen are moving, guided by forces the council cannot anticipate, and the next encounter, the moment when the unseen will meet the hidden, approaches with inevitability. The night sky stretches endlessly above, a canvas of stars that flicker with messages only those attuned can interpret. Patterns emerge, celestial alignments that are more than random formations. They are signals, markers of time, and warnings written across the heavens. Comets blaze trails that seem intentional, planets align with precision, and constellations shift in ways that mirror the movements of events on Earth. You feel the pull of these signs, a recognition in the core of your being, a vibration that hums in harmony with the pulse of destiny. Look up and see the signs. Yeshua's words echo softly, carried not in scripture alone, but in the very order of creation, urging awareness and discernment. On the ground, these heavenly messages manifest in subtle ways, numbers repeated in sequences, sudden flares of insight, coincidences that defy probability. Streets, buildings, and landmarks take on significance that others fail to notice, forming a map of interactions between the terrestrial and the cosmic. Each observation is a thread, weaving a tapestry that guides those who watch with clarity. The chosen cannot ignore these signs. To do so, would be to turn away from the truth embedded in the fabric of the universe itself. As you trace these patterns, a sense of urgency grows. The signs suggest movement, convergence, and a threshold approaching. Shadows of events yet to unfold stretch across the landscape of perception, hinting at encounters, decisions, and revelations that demand readiness. The celestial messages are not passive. They are calls to action, invitations to step fully into awareness, to recognize the hidden forces shaping reality. Each alignment, each signal, is a guidepost pointing toward what is inevitable. Yet the precise nature of the events remains just beyond comprehension. Even as you stand beneath the brilliance of the cosmos, sensing its whispering guidance, a disturbance at the periphery of perception signals that something more is stirring. A presence responding to your awareness, something that has observed the recognition of the signs and now shifts its attention toward the next move. The heavens pulse with anticipation, mirrored by movements unseen on Earth, and the convergence of cosmic and terrestrial forces edges closer. A force stirs within, rising from the depths of your being with a rhythm that is both ancient and immediate. It begins as a subtle heat, a vibration that courses through every nerve and fiber, awakening senses long dormant. Every breath carries electricity, every heartbeat a drumbeat echoing with purpose. The world around you appears unchanged, yet beneath the surface, currents of energy shift in response to this awakening. You are no longer merely an observer of events. You are a catalyst, a conduit for a power that has waited patiently for recognition. The realization comes gradually, but with undeniable intensity. The dormant potential encoded in your mind, body, and spirit is alive, calling for acknowledgement and expression. Thoughts that once felt ordinary now shimmer with clarity. Intuition sharpens to a blade that cuts through confusion and distraction. Actions align effortlessly with unseen currents, as though the universe itself bends to harmonize with the rhythm of your awakening. You feel your influence extend beyond the physical, touching people, events, and environments in ways subtle yet profound, weaving consequences that ripple outward across unseen planes. Moments of hesitation no longer exist. Uncertainty is replaced by an inner certainty, a knowing that you carry within you a power that is both creative and transformative. The sensation is electrifying and disorienting at once, for while the awakening offers freedom, it also demands responsibility. Every choice is magnified, every intention amplified. The dormant gifts of perception, strength, and insight surge forward, and you recognize that mastery requires focus, courage, and unwavering faith in the path that has led you here. Around you, the ordinary world continues unaware, yet subtle shifts signal that the awakening has consequences beyond the self. Objects respond differently. Patterns emerge in coincidence and timing, and the energy of the environment hums in recognition of the unleashed power. Even as you marvel at the depth of your own transformation, a tremor at the edge of awareness hints at forces observing, waiting, testing. The path splits before you, invisible yet unmistakable, a crossroads that carries the weight of countless possibilities. Each direction hums with potential, the air itself vibrating with consequence. Choices once thought simple are now imbued with significance, for every decision at this juncture will echo far beyond the immediate moment, shaping events that cannot yet be seen. You sense the gravity of what lies ahead, the tension between fear and courage, hesitation and resolve, knowing that the journey has led you here for a reason. In the quiet of this pivotal moment, the teachings of Yeshua emerge softly, like a compass pointing through uncertainty. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. It is a reminder that agency is yours, that the opening of one path over another is a conscious act, guided not solely by logic, but by the resonance of truth within. You feel the pulse of destiny intertwined with choice, a delicate balance between action and surrender, courage and wisdom. Every instinct, every intuitive spark, every whisper of insight is amplified, guiding you to recognize what lies beyond the immediate horizon. The crossroads itself is alive, as though aware of your presence, testing resolve and perception. Shadows shift along the edges of awareness, hints of forces both seen and unseen, waiting to observe the path you will claim. There is a strange clarity here, a stillness that contrasts with the storm of energy building inside. You realize that this is more than a moment. It is an initiation, a confirmation that the journey has prepared you for the decisions that will define not only your destiny, but the unfolding of events that touch countless lives. Signs and symbols emerge subtly around you, elements of the world converging to indicate which path resonates with alignment and truth. Each choice carries risk, each step demands courage, yet the guidance of unseen forces, of wisdom whispered across time, illuminates the way. The tension between uncertainty and purpose sharpens awareness, focusing every sense, every thought, every heartbeat on what must come next.